So, worthless ideas and data. People stock 24/7 for, from data to ideas to analysis. One, there's worth. And it's not just that. The ideas, I even explain the worth of them in the documents. One. Two, who would hire terrorists and criminals to try to frame me and murder me for worthless ideas? Who would hire terrorists and criminals to and cyber terrorists to hack in my computer and go through all this efforts, these political abuses of psychiatry, etc., to tamper with my computer or to hire hackers to put weird shit on my computer if I had worthless ideas, amongst other things? Who would, if my documents, ideas, and data were worthless, who would hire hackers and expert hackers to tamper with track changes, tamper with font colors, tamper with documents, etc., etc.? Who would commit political abuses of psychiatry when they know someone's a witness to terrorism and other severe crimes to steal worthless ideas? So these guys are full of shit. These ideas are not worthless. I even explain the worth of them and even explain potential business models if they're if you get a prototype made and then implemented this business model in the correct network. So these guys are full of shit. They are not worthless, and they're not only have worth to billionaires. These kids are full of shit. There are people called venture capitalist firms. So I don't know what hustle they're pulling, saying, "Oh, he doesn't know the worth." I don't know who spawned for this shit, but they're full of shit. But they're not just stealing ideas; they're also committing exploitation because of my life and my life experiences, like this device in my brain and all these other things I've been doing, like uncovering this terrorist plot, trying to take down these terrorists conspiring to implant people around the world and rule the world with information and blackmail, trying to take down these terrorists, trying to tie the hands of the globe in America, and they're actually putting this in a game as if it's them when it's really me. And then they're stealing money and gifts from people around the world that are really for me. So that's another piece of this. So don't fall for bullshit. They just know I've never seen this game, never seen any of this jazz. But and they're stealing other gifts. And supposedly I'm some betting mule, and I'm the one experiencing these bets. And they've even been stealing gifts and money from gamblers who would supposedly leave me stuff. So that's a piece of this too. But the ideas have worth, and they've been lying about it. And I've explained that they have worth. And they're covering up the worth of many of these ideas. And if you ask people, get an NDA or ask people outside of America who know tech who aren't being bribed or blackmailed by some of the key people stealing them, you'll see they have worth. So don't fall for bullshit, because there is a lot of blackmail and bribery, and a lot of people also blackmail people to lie about the worth of things. I would see if there are any presidents or politicians asking experts about the worth of stuff, see if someone implanted them, and ask them if someone blackmailed them to tell you they're worthless or don't have a worth or they're not doable or this and that. See if someone blackmailed them to tell you that, and then find out who. Potentially some suspects in my DOJ letter, because they're trying to cover up the worth of these ideas. Bet my life on it. And covering up who they're selling them to, because they're also stealing them, and they have worth just by themselves, but they may even work with them with experts illegally and would have never thought of such without my thoughts and my worked out plan. And they're not just stealing seeds. They're stealing whole trees. They're stealing seeds that were planted that have roots, and the tree's starting and sprouting, and it's not even complete yet. They're stealing whole trees bearing fruit. They're stealing a whole orchard, from fully developed trees bearing fruit to, as I've said numerous times, to fully developed trees bearing fruit, to undeveloped trees, to seeds that were just planted and just developing roots. They're stealing and exposing to billionaires and others illegally. I'm Alexander Surya Jayani, born June 5th, 1984. Check telepathy. I had said that the other day, maybe like a week ago. Trying to express, these guys aren't just, when I made the seed thought idea, they're not just stealing seed thoughts. They're stealing a whole orchard. They're stealing trees bearing fruit, so don't fall for bullshit. And trees that are in development that could be further developed. So don't fall for nonsense. But I'm Alexander Surya Johnny, born June 5th, 1984. It's 6:58, July 28th. And I've said this before, so this is not the first authentic log of me talking about this orchard and them stealing full trees. Because when I made the seed thought, then they start pulling some new lie, like, oh, we're just stealing the seed thoughts. No, they're not. They're stealing trees. They're stealing the whole orchard. They're stealing the orchard, the fruit. They're stealing the undeveloped trees. They're still in development. So don't fall for bullshit. These kids are full of shit. But like I said, people don't commit political abuses of psychiatry for worthless ideas. People don't hire expert hackers and cyber terrorists to tamper with documents to cover up whose data, ideas, etc. it is. So they're making money. They're lying to you. And people don't buy access to a device in my brain if the ideas I make are worthless, or my data is worthless, or there's not reasons they want my data. No one would waste money to gain access to the multi-trillion-dollar brain and gain access to the supposed Illuminati president's brain and gain access to my brain unless there wasn't worth in my data. Let's pay attention. So there's something these guys aren't telling you about. Key point. And these kids are selling access to my brain illegally. So that's another key point. This Bologna character and others. Maybe even Zos and Krot and Kot, Krot and Kot are two different people. Key point.